Yeah, I'm definitely super grateful for the opportunity. I mean, so many girls, whenever they finish playing, just have no idea what they want to do, or it's kind of a hard industry to break in, and especially at the Division 1 level. So definitely grateful for the opportunity from Kiki O'Connor, my boss, and I'm just really privileged to be a part of the program.
So how did it happen? How did you go from playing at Tennessee to now being an assistant coach here?
So it's my senior year, and I knew that coaching was probably something I wanted to get into. And typically, a lot of route that players take is being a GA at the school that they're currently at, or a GA at another program, and continuing to get like a master's, and then just kind of working their way up from there. I really didn't want to go to school, so I was like, "Is there any way I can break into coaching and just kind of skip that step?" So I reached out to kind of like a mentor and past coach of mine, Ryan Taylor, who's the um, head of the organization of Aces Fast Pitch, which is the travel softball team I played for growing up. And he knows a lot of people, knows a lot of names. And um, I was just like, hey, this is what I want to do. Do you have any recommendations of programs I should look into? And he was like, yeah, you should give Kiki O'Connor a ring. She may not even have a position open, but at least you can, put your name out there and everything. So gave her a call, or sent a message, and then kind of the relationship just started to develop from there.
Well, that sounds like a perfect scenario for you, considering you said you're from like 40 minutes from here, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Lee Summit, Missouri, so it's just 30 minutes outside of or away from UMKC, which is awesome. I've been aware of this program my whole life, pretty much.
So take me through that transition, just of thinking you're gonna go into the real world and maybe step out of softball, and now being able to coach.
Yeah, well, freshman year, Kinsey's going in all hot and ready, like, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to do this. And then you kind of get a reality check of Division 1 sports and just like, okay, maybe a chemistry degree or a biology degree is going to be a little bit harder than I first anticipated, especially with the demand of being a high-level athlete. So my first 3 years at Washington, I was a medical anthropology major.
Wow.
So was still getting to take those classes that I really enjoyed, science, biology, those kinds of courses, but not having to do all of the lab work that was required of like a biology or a chemistry degree. So still trying to prepare myself to maybe go to PA school or do something in med device or something along those lines. And then it was really my senior year whenever just that passion for coaching and just staying in softball and athletics in general just really hit me.
So take me through the dynamic of each coach and kind of what you think your asset is as the assistant coach to this program.
So our head coach, Kiki O'Connor, she played at Nebraska. She played pro, All-American. She's been at many different levels, and she's still very much a young coach. Our staff is very young staff in general, so it's cool to get to learn from them, but also like not feel excluded in a way. And the staff's just been so great and welcoming me, making me feel like my ideas are heard. Because sometimes you're coming in as a 23-year-old, you may feel like I'm not yet prepared, but Kiki does a great job of just lifting me up and encouraging me to speak up. And then there's Josie, who she played at Missouri Southern State. She's also very young, and she works with our infield. She's kind of like so mature beyond her years, and I would say like the mellow one out of the group. She speaks a lot of reason over the team, and like great listener. And then Cody is our pitching coach. He is just a ball of energy. Anyone who meets him would say the same about him for sure.
So now let's dive into a little bit of your softball journey. So we'll start with, how did softball begin for you?
So I did not want to play softball. I was actively against it. My parents, they were part of a slow pitch team, And so me being the only child at that time, I'm tagging along, I'm playing on the playground, sitting in the dugout, and I absolutely hated sitting at those games. And so when my parents were like, you want to play softball? You want to try it for yourself? And I was like, absolutely not. I've been to many slow pitch games and I did not enjoy it, but I was kind of nudged in that arena. They signed me up, and rest is history from there.
Now you're coaching in the program,
Yeah.
which that also is how you got your jersey number 27. You said that it was your dad's football number, and then that's kind of how you. So tell me more about that experience.
Yeah, so signed up for softball, and I probably held a little bit of resentment for my parents signing me up, and I didn't want to. So whenever they're like, what do you want your number to be? I'm like, I don't know, I don't care. And someone I was like, she's gonna be number 27, because that's his number growing up, and it just stuck from there because I didn't know any better. I didn't have another number.
At Tennessee, you started basically like 63 games, almost like every single game there. But what was the deciding factor after you had spent 3 years at Washington? Why did you want to finish out your softball collegiate career somewhere else?
Yeah, I think there was just I think I needed the change in order to become the best softball player I could. I don't think, for whatever reason, I don't think the environment that I was at that time, it created just the confidence or maybe necessarily the coaching I needed in order to grow and develop into the best softball player I can be. I have almost nothing negative to say about my experience at Washington. I love it. I mean, 3 of the 4 girls of my bridal party are my best friends that I met at Washington. And there's like Seattle will always hold such a special place in my heart, and I have no regrets about going there whatsoever. But in terms of just my softball career, I knew I needed that change to really give myself the chance to prove it to myself that there was some unfinished business.
So now that you're a coach in that position, I'm so sure that there's moments where you see like the player side of yourself in these girls. So what's one of those attributes that you kind of try and invest back into your team now being on the other side?
I think just, you have females from 8 to 23. Like, there's so many self-image issues and just self-worth that you're like going through. You're learning so much about yourself in those years. They're so formative. And so I feel so strongly about pouring into that, making sure that they know their identity is rooted in Christ and that outside of the softball field, and then also giving them all the confidence in the world to know that they're here for a reason, that they're good enough, that they are capable of being that girl on the field, and rising to the occasion in really big moments.
You guys are kind of building the program rooted in Christianity and faith and everything. So what does that kind of look like as a coach, as a teammate, and the program in general? Tell me more.
Being really rooted in my faith is something that's new to me, and something I didn't really explore until my senior year. And so I know how much of an impact it made on my career, performance, my life outside of softball in general. So really just pouring into the player's spiritual health, I think, is so important because, college softball is really hard. And just being a college woman going through really like developmental changes and relationship things and school things and health things, it's cool to just be a voice and speaking life into them.
Was there any personal experience that you went through while you were a D1 athlete or a part of, just in softball in college that you battled with, that you had to overcome, and now you kind of feel that now, like being on the other side?
Yeah, I think my freshman and sophomore year, I went through a lot of doubt and mental struggle just because I had come into college like being a top recruit and like setting so much expectations for myself and knowing that everyone was watching and that there was a lot of expectations for my performance. And so whenever I didn't meet those or I wasn't meeting that standard and kind of like struggling with why am I not being everything that everyone said I was going to be or doing all the things I said I was going to do, that was really challenging for me, and something that really took a toll on just my mental health and just my confidence as a person. So, and then I slowly built that up my junior year and then my senior year. I really feel like the ultimate switch was just surrendering my life to Christ for sure.
I just think it's so awesome that you were able to experience playing at Tennessee, because their athletic program is just like, I feel like for any sport is like insane.
Yeah.
So what was it like being an athlete there? What was your favorite part about playing softball there?
Yeah, I mean, I had been at a Division I program before, which was amazing, and they invest so much money. And then I got to Tennessee, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is next level. I think the SEC in general, just how much they're willing to invest in sports, and Tennessee specifically, how much they invest into their female sports and the booster club, and just like the Lady Vol. Like it's its own brand. It's not even just like Tennessee athletics. It's like Lady Vol, the female sports there have their own fan base in general. So I think that was definitely eye-opening. I mean, the football games, that the SEC atmosphere was so fun, so incredible, and all the facilities, and yeah, just what they invest into athletics there is absolutely crazy.
Well, what's something that you experienced in your softball career that now you want to like create here at UMKC softball?
Yeah, I think the one thing that sticks with you longer than any win or any memories such like that is just those relationships. And I know how much of a sisterhood Washington and Tennessee both felt for me, and some of those relationships that I have after hanging out my cleats. Like, I really hope that as a coaching staff, we create an environment where the girls start to create some of those relationships that like really are so tight knit beyond playing on the dirt.
What do you think is the key to that?
I think just being a part of a team and having a collected goal, being united, and just you get to experience so many, like, even if it's conditioning and it's the sprinting and you've like got your best friend doing it, like you laugh about, oh, remember whenever we ran so much I threw up or something like that, and like just having some of those experiences that like no other team or relationship or anything is like, nothing's gonna replicate that. Like, even being a part of a staff right now, like it's not ever gonna be the same as being a part of Washington softball team or Tennessee softball team. You're never gonna like feel that camaraderie ever again. You're always gonna like chase that feeling, I feel like.
And now being on the other side of it, like, and actually having to almost like create that for them, have you noticed that good team chemistry comes from the coaching staff or the girls within?
There's definitely an aspect of you need really strong leadership at the top and it starts to trickle down. But also, I think it's just about bringing in really good individuals too. Like, sometimes there are some programs who sacrifice like really good individuals for really great athletes, and you can see that on the field, and you can see that, and maybe a lot of girls transfer because they just don't have like that connection. So as a coaching staff, we need to really make sure that who we're bringing is going to be lifting up other people, and they're gonna mesh well, because yes, like there's an aspect of we're trying to get really good team, like make a really good team and win a lot of games, but also we're trying to make them really good people and really employable people and strong women at the end of the day too.
Can you see yourself coaching like long term?
Oh, for sure. I think it's something I'll always do, whether it's at this level or my children's like t-ball team or something. Like, it's something I've always enjoyed, especially working with the youth. But I also love to work at the highest level and girls who really want to compete.
To wrap this up, I think the best way would just be for an opportunity for the audience and whoever is listening to this to hear your heart of a sense of now that you're in this position, coaching a sport that you've loved and have done your entire life. What does this opportunity kind of mean for you, and like what's your heart towards coaching?
My heart towards coaching, I think I came into it thinking like, oh my gosh, it's so like just about what it is going to be on the field. And like, I'm going to need to prepare these girls, and I'm going to, you know, need to help them hit the curveball and the rise ball and the changeup. And something I've been really grateful to learn throughout this process is just like, it's so much more than that. Sometimes you're the equipment manager, and sometimes you're the therapist, and sometimes you're giving advice about which mascara you like, and like just random stuff like that. But honestly, that's like what makes it so enjoyable for me, and just getting to be with them every single day, learning learning and walking through their struggles that, you know, just occur when you're a young woman. That's been my favorite part, is just really getting to invest in the person. And then the byproduct is like getting to make them good softball players after the fact.